Hello everyone, my name is Anil Podar. So today we are going to discuss about unit number 5, the memory system, lecture number 33. Let us go through the contents that we are going to discuss in this video. So we are going to discuss about what are static memories. Now, as you can see in the diagram, whatever the cells we have discussed in the last lecture. So we can use various types of cells. One of the type of cells is called as a static cell, or you can say static memory. So the memories that consist of circuits capable of retaining their states as long as power is applied are known as static memories. So there are different types of memories. So static memories, in what happens is, in this memory, the circuits will be capable of retaining their state. That is, the state will be either low or high as long as power is applied. So as long as power is there, the state of the cells will not get changed, or state of the circuit gets not changed. Okay, so below figure shows how a static RAM may be implemented. Now you can see in the figure there are two inverters which are cross connected to form a latch, that is X and Y. Now the latch is connected to two bit lines by transistors T1 and T2. So there is a latch which are connected to two bit lines by transistor T1 and T2. So there are two transistors and two inverters, that is X and Y, which are cross connected. Now these transistors acts as a switches, that is, it can be either open or closed. So the open or closed switch will be under the control of the word line. As you can see here, the word line will control whether the transistors are open or closed. Now suppose when the word line it has ground level, that is, when the word line is present at the ground level, or it is at the state 0, that is, the transistors will be turned off because it is at the ground level, it is not connected to the battery. So transistor will be turned off and latch will retain its state. Now this state is maintained as long as the signal on the word line is at the ground level. Now suppose the word line is connected at the ground, so it is not connected to a battery. So T1 and T2 will be off, that is, the transistors will be off because it is not connected to a battery. Now it will be off as long as the word line is connected at the ground level. Now in between, if you connect the word line to a battery, then automatically the transistor T1 and T2 will get turned on, so it will change its state. So this is about the static memories. Now let us see how read operation is done in the static memories. Now in order to read the state of the RAM cell, if you want to read the data from the RAM cell, the word line is activated to close switches T1 and T2. Now the word line will be activated by the two switches, that is, two transistors T1 and T2. Now suppose if the cell is in state 1, that is, it is on, then the signal on bit line B will be high at the left side. Ultimately the signal on bit line B dash will be low, that is 1 and 0. The opposite is true, that is, suppose if the cell is in state 0, then the signal of bit line B will be low and the signal of bit line B dash will be high, that is, B and B dash are complement of each other. Now the sense or write circuits at the end of the bit lines will monitor the state of B and B dash. Now the sense write circuit will control whether B and B dash should be at what state, that is, whether B should be high or B dash should be low, and it will set the output accordingly. Now we'll go for how write operation is conducted in the SRAM cell. Now the state of the cell is set by placing the appropriate value on bit line B. So in the bit line B at the left side, the state of the cell will be placed and its complement on B dash. By doing this, it will activate the word line. Once we get activated, it will force the cell into the corresponding state, either high or low. Now the required signals on the bit lines are generated by the sense or write circuit. So sense or write circuit will generate the signals on the bit lines. Now after we discuss about the read and write operations on the SRAM cell, the next type of cell is the CMOS cell. So as you can see in the figure, this is a type of the CMOS cell. So there are transistors pair T3 and T5. So T3 and T5 are the one of the transistor pairs, and T4 and T6 are the transistor pairs which are forming an inverters in the latch. Now the state of the cell is either read or write. Now the power supply voltage, that is 5 volts, is used in older CMOS cells, or 3.3 volt in the newer voltage cells. Now when you compare, the major advantage of CMOS SRAMs is very low power consumption. That is, it will take less amount of power because current will flow in the cell only when the cell is being assessed. That is, when you compare with the other cells, current will be flowing to all the cells even if they are not been assessed. But in CMOS SRAM cells, current will flow only through the cells which are used for read or write operations. So that is the difference between CMOS and other cells. Otherwise, T1, T2 and one transistor in each inverter are turned off. So as you can see, only if T4, T6 and T3, T5 are used for memory accessing, then other transistors will be turned off. So there is no active part between supply and ground. Now in this video we have studied about working of static RAM cell and CMOS cell. Thank you.